This is the backing of the collage.
Good morning. How is everybody today? Well, today is Thursday, and it is Jones, and it's craft day. I am working on the horse. I am thread painting it, and excuse me, and I have so far done the mane here, and now I'm going to start working down his nose and his cheekbone and his nose area in the cheek. So let's get started. So what I'm doing here is called thread painting, and it's basically just sewing down all the individual strands of hair that I put on here. First of all, I wanted to let you know that I'm using free motion foot, and it's open toe. Some people say it's a darning foot, but it's free motion in my category. So I do have my feed dogs dropped here. Right there, I have them dropped. This is up, this is down. So it's very important that when you do free motion, you have to drop your feed dogs. If you don't, you'll be in big trouble. You'll break a lot of needles. You won't understand why it's not working, and so on. So the free motion or thread painting here, as I'm doing, is thread painting. It's just, for one thing, it gives it the collage a whole different look. It secures the small mane or fabrics to the collage, so they don't, fly away, which they won't. But it just gives it a whole different dimension, put it that way. And so I really like the idea, so I thought I would try it. So this is my first time that I've ever really done it, and I'm enjoying it. This is the eye. And when I was watching back on the video, I kept on thinking this was the eye. And it drove me nuts, and I said, that is not the eye. Or if somebody was looking at that and thought that was the eye, it's not the eye. And I thought, if they saw that, they would think, that doesn't look like a horse. So it was driving me batty. So I did put in some other shading here, and I noticed when I sewed over it, it turned a little red. So that's a good thing. But yeah, then I was thinking, gosh, I'm a worrywart. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this eye isn't big enough. Well, it is, because I took it from the pattern that I had. It's just me, I'm a worrywart. I think of all these things that, is probably wrong or whatever. So that's the eye. This is just like, horses have spots or horses have patches. So that's a patch or a spot that the horse has. It's not an eye. Now, if it was started, so my next thing with this is I'm going to be sewing this way. So this is the nose, right? So the fur or the mane or the coat, it's a coat on the horse, it goes straight down like that. But it's not long hairs, it's little tiny hairs. And the rest of the coat is little tiny. So those stitches are going to be just back and forth like this. Almost like, you know, like when a sewing machine does a zigzag. Anyway, like a zigzag, but it's going to be short little things. And zigzag up, I mean not zigzag, but little stitches here, it'll go up like that. Here will all go this way, and this part here will all go this way. I noticed I started going down here with this. It should be actually going this way. And the fur will go this way like this. And then down here like this. Okay? All right, so let's hope that my Juki will perform today. And I think we're going to start on this side here and see what we end up with. Now I'm not going to do the eye because the eye obviously doesn't have a coat on it, or you know. So let's see how she performs today. Oop! I forgot to bang the glove. Now that's another thing is, you know, you hear about a lot of quilters, especially if they're doing free motion quilting, you have to wear gloves, because if you don't wear gloves and you start sewing, you have no grip. But when you wear gloves, now these are gardening gloves, you can get them for like $1.99 at the end of the, you know, you can get them cheap, especially at the end of the season, gardening season, summer season. And what's nice about them, the grip, see that? They're grippy. So you want to keep your hands out of the way for sure, but you want to be able to grip this fabric. And so when you're sewing, when it's free motion, it's basically up and it can't go anywhere. But when you push on it, it'll go. Sometimes it'll say, no, we're not doing this today. So I'm just taking like little tiny steps here, little stitches, and I'm just going back, you know, back and forth, little tiny here. It does take up a lot of thread when you do this, but you know, the way it goes. Now, some of the tools you'll need for this, I do have an automatic cutter, but some of the tools you need for this is tweezers, a seam ripper only for maybe poking your pieces underneath the foot. You will need, where did I put my tweezers? You see me use tweezers. And, you know, of course I lose everything here. Anyway, but I have these tweezers that I use. I don't know where they are. Anyway, for, you know, grabbing little things, threads, whatever. But see, I don't know if you can see that, but I have this one piece here for some reason. It's flipping up. It shouldn't be doing that. So what I'll do is I'll lift my foot here and I'll poke this down in there. And let's hope it stays down. I'm just going to go over on top of it and do a little bit of stitching here. Like that. So this fabric I found is upholstery fabric. I have some. And, but it is like, I mean, I don't know if it's wool. I think it's kind of like a polyester, but it's kind of really a nice, soft look to it. I was going to put it on muslin, and my other side is muslin. I was going to put it on there, but it didn't look good on muslin. It kind of looked out of place because the picture of the horse is dark, and I thought, to me, this green would look a lot better with the horse on it than it would if I put it on white. Or off-white, excuse me, off-white. So I just went with that. It felt good. I go for, like in my, everybody's different. They're all made differently, right? So when I'm making something, it's got to feel right in my mind, I guess. That's in my eyes. If I see it and it feels good, then I know it's good. If it doesn't feel good, then I know you're not going to watch my video. Possibly. And another thing, looking at my channel, I've noticed I've had 20,000 views. That is so awesome. I can't believe that I have 20,000 views. And that's from all over the world. And I was thinking, wow, just think if 20,000 people that have seen it would press the subscribe button, I would have 20,000 people. Subscribers. That would be unbelievable, wouldn't it? But I think a lot of people just watch, they'll start watching it. They go, oh, I don't know. I mean, because I watch YouTube every night, and there's some things I watch, and I think, oh, I don't know. And then I'll just turn it. So I'm just like everybody else. I mean, if I don't enjoy it, I'll just turn it and go find something else to watch. Or not go, but I'll turn the channel until I find something to watch. And so I'm kind of, I'm just like you guys. But if I really see something I like, I will definitely make the effort to subscribe to it, because us who has channels do make money off of views and subscriptions, or I haven't started making any money yet. I haven't really gone down that road. I guess I could if I started Patreon, or I haven't done it. I don't know. I seem like I have a lot to do as it is. I mean, I would like to make money, I guess. It would be fun. I mean, everybody wants to make money, right? And that sort of thing. I do this basically the enjoyment of creating art and sharing art and sharing what I've seen like on YouTube and sharing what I can do with the art I've seen on YouTube as well. And before, it's funny how our lives are. Before ever coming to this house and having a sewing room, I would sew, and I would have things in my mind that I want to do. It was either, it just wasn't the right timing for me, to do it. And but knowing, I mean, I knew how to do it, and to take the time and, you know, just break out something and do it, because I didn't have all the fabrics, or I didn't have all the materials. So now now that I have my channel and I'm sharing ideas with you, I try to have things on hand that I can use and share these different this different type of art with you, my way. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I see something I like and I think, ooh, that's interesting, I'm going to try it. So that's what I do. It might not be the right way. Maybe somebody else does theirs differently, but I like to try it. Just my handbags, my tote bags, my vests, my quilts. My quilts are mine, and that's another interesting thing about making quilts. Every quilt that's made, it might not be picture perfect or book perfect, but it's your quilt, and it's how you know, it's you. It's you. And somebody might make the same quilt that you're making, but it's entirely different. And the reason is their stitch might be different, or the colors, or the design. So that's what I like about art. It's free. We can all do it. We can all express our how we do it. It's fun. You can make gifts. So it's all good. So right now I'm kind of up above the cheek area here. I don't know, can you see? The cheek area. And I'm kind of going over to the nose. This is the nose here. This is the nose, but this is the, you know, part of the nose, the upper part of the nose. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, little stitches, like I said, guiding that freehand motion. Just like that. You know, you don't have to do this just on animals or horses. I mean, whatever project. I mean, you don't have to do it just on collages. You could do this if you're making applique, a flower applique, and you could go over it with thread painting. So you're not just limited on one thing. You can take this technique and use it on any kind of fabric that you are, and whatever you're creating. It's just a different dimension. And you can find a lot of your parts. You know, you can go to the store, to this sewing machine, fabric store, for these type of feet. Just make sure that you're getting one that fits your machine. This part is the shank, so you want to know if you have a long shank or a short shank. Those are very important. I remember my girlfriend, who's a sewer, she was asking me, well, what size, is it a short shank or a long shank? And I'm not, you know what? I think it's a long one. lose the thingamajigga. See, I always lose them. Oh, there we go. So, all right, let's lift this. So, I am not using the Teflon or the coated foot because it didn't seem to work right. It could be because I was using multiple layers and maybe it couldn't go through, but it did seem to break. For some reason, with that foot, my thread was breaking quite a bit, which can become very annoying. And I think, well, is it the thread? Is it the stitch length? Is it the tension, which I don't like to mess with my tension, which is right there. I don't touch that tension. I've touched it and I've made my machine just absolutely stop working. So it just stays there. I don't touch it. Yeah, I get really frustrated with those things. So I thought, well, I'm not going to chance it. And then the needle broke. So I decided to just go with a quilting foot, number 14, and get, and yes, it will gum up. I've had to clean off the needle several times. So I don't know. I think it's a good idea, and maybe it's because it was multiple layers, because I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all these layers. So it could be that, just not made for that many layers. I don't know. I'm not going to give up on it. I'll use it for other appliques, ones that don't have the multiple layers. I still think it's a good product. I'm just kind of bummed that it didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. Oh well, life goes on, right? You can't cry over spilled milk. As they say. Although you can holler about it, though. Nothing worse is when you're low on cash and milk gets spilled, right? I remember those days. Kids are getting ready for school and making their cereal, and all of a sudden there's just a little bit of milk left for the next kid, and what happens? They spill it, and then that kid doesn't get to have cereal. Maybe dried cereal, or have it with water, and it just sets the day off to a bad day. So I guess you can cry over spilled milk sometimes. See. This is actually fun because you're just kind of making it up as you go. The same with doing collage art, it's what I do is I'll go on to what is it? I'll go on the computer and I'll look for pictures of drawings or artwork and then I will take a picture of them. You can find that everywhere, but then I just take a picture of them, and some of them are drawings, so I just take a picture of the drawing, and then I just enlarge it on my computer or on my phone, or actually, no, that's not what I do. I use my printer, and I print it off on 8 by 12 paper, or is it 8 by 10? 8 by 10. And then that's my picture. That's the picture I use. And then I pick the colors. I will be making another horse soon for my granddaughter. When she saw this horse, she said, "I love it. I want one." So she wanted this one. But I said it's already been taken. It's an order. And I'll make her one. So okay, so it's stuck there. So I said, "What color horse you want?" She said, "I want white." I said, "Okay." So I'll make her a white one, but it's gonna have to have some pastels in it to give it some shading. Give it, make it look realistic. So, and then my grandson, him and his wife one of them likes sea turtles and the other one likes octopus. So they want a sea turtle and octopus together, swimming, of course, and or whatever they do. And so I'm gonna do a picture of that, of an octopus and a sea turtle together, and they're having a little girl, so they want to put it on the wall for the baby to look at. So it's going to have to be bright colors. So that ought to be fun. Little more craft ideas to do. So every once in a while I'll stop and look and see where I need to put the stitching. Like that. Now, if we stop here, and I start up here and go this way. Another good feature about the Juki itself, little thread itself. So I just use the cutter. So what it does is it just cuts it right off at the base of the plate. So when I start sewing again, it just rethreads itself. Now I forget that sometimes, and I'll just bring the thread up from the bobbin, just manually, because my old machines were manual. So I forget about that, but this one does do it itself. And so, which makes it so much simpler. And I'm really thankful that I tried doing this with my Juki, the free motion, because I thought maybe, only certain other machines could do this. So it's nice to know that this can be done. So as you can see, I'm just doing small little stitches here. So this is the top of the nose. And this is the other eye. So I think with this die, I am going to go over the top of the eye just to, because there is a little silver or gold and black little piece of fabric there to kind of give it a little shine, because when I looked at the picture, even though you can't see this eye, you can kind of see a gleam there. So I just put this gold, black and gold, and it looks like it's glitter, but it kind of gives it a little sheen. Where I tried using it here, but it just didn't really go, and it wasn't, to me, it wasn't pleasing to the eye. It didn't really look like an eye. This kind of looks like it's looking at you. It's got gleam. It's, you know, it's got light in the eye, so it looks real to me. So I just stuck with that eye. And I was actually, the pattern I used, that's what that eye on the pattern I was using, so I just went with that pattern. So obviously the horse is looking into the light, so it gives more reflection in the light in the eye. Now in my bobbin I have brown thread, so in the top I have the reddish red. So I think here I need to start going back down, up and down here, so I can kind of intertwine the stitches that are going down and stitch, so kind of like maybe bring them down there. So let's turn it this way. No, let's go this way. So there, it kind of you can make it so the fur looks like it's growing like that, straight down the nose, and then like this around the eye. Gives it movement too. I don't think it's really fur. It's the hair, but it is horse hair. It's not hair we know like ours. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you could see. I hope my hand wasn't in your way too much. I hope you look it up. So, like I said, if you like what you see and you want to see more, then ring the notification bell, because every Thursday I post some kind of craft. Either I'm upcycling clothes, I'm doing collage, making patchwork vest, I'm making appliques from ink, intense pencils. So I'm always doing something. This is my fun day, although my Tuesday is fun too. Tuesday is all about sewing quilts and working on the quilting, either frame or sewing machine. And I will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Boop, 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 boop.